Well, for me, the sort of creeping thing in the background is this whole coronavirus thing, right?
Yes.
But this is one of the few situations where I feel like if this doesn't get sorted, we're not going to be able to be sitting on the TV and like, watching or donating a couple of quid
Wow.
or whatever. Let me put a scenario for you to encapsulate this, right? Basically, imagine you can't go on the tube, right? Because of cross contamination, right?
Yes.
You can't get on trains, right? People are being made to stay at home.
Yes, and
right?
work from home.
Will there be work if people are not allowed out on the streets in certain places?
I think to some degree it might. Quite a lot of jobs might be lost because they can't get into your office and you need to.
Exactly, right? So it will define, if this doesn't get sorted, it will define a new reality, even if it's a short-term economic reality on the world, especially in places where they don't have an NHS. Yeah. When I'm talking about places that don't have an NHS stuff, I'm including America. They've got a private healthcare system.
Yes.
I don't want to call the ambulance because the ambulance costs $9,000. If they have something that feels like a flu, which is what the coronavirus is supposed to feel like, they're like, I can handle this. But really, they're infecting the whole office. To overstate it is a correct course of action. Viruses don't care about your borders. Viruses don't care about your visas.
Right.
Viruses don't care who you are. Right.
True.
You could be a rich person, get that virus at a conference, spread it to the waiter serving you the hotel.
Yeah.
He spreads it to his family. The kids go to school, they spread to them, and it moves sideways.
Yeah.
We don't have the nightmare at the end, and people are, like you said, having to be forced to stay at home, right, to contain the virus. It might really finally put this whole internet economy and conference calls. we might actually get, strange enough, a bit of broadband from it, because if more people are working at home, our broadband system will have to be upgraded. The thing that's worrying, right? Because at the moment, a lot of people are just getting a little flu symptoms, a little cold, a little fever, and it's over. Right. The thing is, right?
I think it also depends on you as a person, right?
Right. Mm-hmm. So this is why it's so dangerous, because obviously the environment that these coronavirus victims, their bodies, right?
Yeah.
They're incubating these viruses, right?
So scary when you say that.
So that all these guys are flushing out. A lot of them are flushing out these viruses, but there's some, right, who can live a little bit longer,
right,
in the human body.
Mm-hmm.
They're a little bit different, right? Mm-hmm. So all the ones that couldn't survive, they get killed, and they're the ones that spread, right? And then they're the ones that survive, that can survive even longer. Mm-hmm. They live longer. So eventually you get a virus that doesn't give a damn, can survive in the body, wreak havoc, and that's the one that spreads. Yeah. Right? Now, the more people you have, the more places it has to incubate. Right?
And then it can multiply.
Yeah, multiply, and then give it. So somebody somewhere is incubating the virus that is going to be unstoppable.
But don't you think it's so scary how fast it has spread from the time they said that they weren't really thinking about it, they weren't that worried about it in China, because they said it only happened in December, and look at all the people that have become infected, and unfortunately all the ones that have died.
This is what I mean about overdoing it with the overkill of quarantine and stuff. Yeah. This is exactly what you're supposed to do, because that person can't give it on to somebody else, who might incubate it.
Refusing to do quarantine.
That's
No, I'm bored. I don't want to be here no more. And then they've had to force them and lock them in there.
It's just you imagine, right? You're let's say you're taking off work for 2 weeks or whatever, right? Imagine the other side, right? In that we're in a world where you can't go outside. Nobody can go outside, get on the tube and do whatever. Yeah. And run around their daily business. Things are brought to them. Yeah. By people in
robots.
By robots or people in suits and
hazmat suits.
Yeah. So I'd give you a 2-week holiday,
right,
for free. I don't mind,
right,
to not have the other thing.
Right.
I like the overkill, quarantining, following up people, etc. Mm-hmm. As long as we're on top of that, everything's going to be cool, mm-hmm. right? Mm-hmm. If we're lax, like I said, viruses don't care. If you're Chinese or Indian or African or whatever, you're just another body, right?
What happens if somebody says, oh my God, they're doing this. Okay, I feel ill, but I don't want to tell anybody. Because then they'll force me into quarantine.
Yeah.
See, people might start lying because they don't want to disrupt their life and they don't want to be forced into quarantines, then what?
Like we said on your show, there's personality types, and there's people who will do exactly that, right? So their anxiety of being penned down will be greater than the anxiety of like potentially infecting lots of people. So there will be people like that, and that's why we need to, the minute people that we have now infected, we need to like kill that off so it doesn't get to the people who don't care.
Right.
So basically
but knowingly that you do feel
it's like the first couple of months of the 2020s. It's either this will be one of the greatest triumphs in the global healthcare system, right? Of pinning down was potentially a pandemic. This one, they'll be studying this, right? In health degrees and stuff like that. They'll be studying this, right?
Yes.
How they managed to control this globally. It's either going to be that, or it's going to be like one of the biggest things that's happened in the 2020s ever, right? Because the amount of people that would die off if it goes up. Either one of the two things. I am hoping that we are very lucky, like we were talking in your show about social media, that we've got a global, basically, information system where we can contact that literally the whole world.
Yes.
Right.
Anytime.
And that we have the tools to have this under control. I'm a very, very positive person.
Right.
So it's either going to be one of the greatest examples of humanity using technology and being organized and sorting this out,
right,
or it's going to be one of the biggest disasters of the 2020s.
So we just have to wait.
It's one of the two, right? It's one of the two, right?
We want it to be positive, of course.
I want it to be the other one, the positive one.
Yeah.
But it's one of the two,